So this is how you raise your vibration instantly and you come into your true identity. Okay, let me go back first because there's something that you have to do first. You have to disconnect from the synthetic timeline. You have to disconnect from the false identity that was spoon-fed to you. And as a byproduct of disconnecting, your natural rhythm arises. Who you are naturally, it comes to the surface. And I'm going to tell you, the very first time that you experience yourself for real, you are free. You know who you are. You can never ever be programmed again. You might get to a place where you doubt. You might get to a place where you go back, but you have laid eyes on your solid foundation. You feel what it's like. And even if you don't stay there always, you know how to get back here. And because you know this now, the only thing that is left to do when it's time to raise your vibration is to come back to this place. Everything in this world that you have been disconnected from at this point, you're going to see that it was actually keeping you from your true essence. All the masks that we've been taught to wear, all of the ways that we've been told to come forth in a performative way, all of the ways where we didn't choose the side of truth. It's going to reveal to you that, okay, I've been out of alignment with myself. I've been out of alignment with this truth that has been trying to come alive for me, and it has caused me a great deal of suffering. And I'm going to tell you something. You did the work. Because in order for you to feel your real frequency, it means that you did the inner work. It means that you did the necessary steps to see the difference. Right there, you should celebrate yourself. Right there, you should be like, man, because most people are not doing that. Most people are still looking outside of themselves for validation, looking outside of themselves for love, looking outside of themselves for approval. But you're not doing that anymore. So right there, you are already set apart. Even if you haven't quite found the frequency of your truth yet, just you unplugging is half the battle. So I'm going to say congratulate yourself for that. Okay? And when you really, really start to come into this higher knowing, your truth, your original holy identity, connecting to it is easy. And this is how you raise your vibration instantly. When you wake up in the morning, before you get that stimulation, before you get that, I'm going to check my phone, I'm going to, do all this stuff that I normally do. I'm going to go get that coffee. I'm going to do all of that. Sit with yourself. Sit with yourself. Give yourself 10 minutes to check in. And as you check in with yourself, what you're going to see is that, okay, I get to place my consciousness where I want it. I get to direct this. I get to be the captain of this ship, okay? So I'm going to direct my consciousness in what makes me feel more like myself. Because remember, you laid eyes on who you are. You're no longer shooting in the dark. You're no longer like, okay, why is this happening to me? No, why is this happening for me? Because everything that has happened for me was trying to get me here. Was trying to get me to that place where I know myself. Where I recognize myself. Why it's like, in a sense, my soul been trying to get me to see that this is me all alone. But I've been so connected to what everybody else is doing and built a whole life that was on autopilot that I didn't let this part of me come to the surface. But you did. You let this part come to the surface. This is why you are chosen. This is why you are set apart. Because the majority mindset is just going through the motions. They're going through a synthetic simulation. They're overstimulated. They are walking around like zombies and robots. Their energy is being harvested. Their essence is being harvested. But you out here full of life, full of glowing, full of color, full of vibrancy, because you're disconnected from that fake way and you're connected to the true vine. And what this has afforded you is that frequency that is not like anybody else's. It's that rhythm, that thread that is you, that makes you in love with who you are. It makes you so proud of who you are. And the way to raise your vibration in this 3D reality is to go there every day. It's to check in with yourself every day before the world gets a hold of you, before the emails, before everybody gets to moving around and all of this. And let me just say this. If Spirit is waking you up between the hours of 3 and 5, sometimes 2, Spirit is trying to give you a head start to your day. But the Matrix wants us to sleep through it. The Matrix is like, well, why can't I sleep? No. Get up, sit down, come into your body, breathe, and connect with everything. Connect with the source of everything. Connect with you. Connect with that essence that is telling you, baby, listen, this life is amazing. The ones that are not seeing how amazing this life is, they're the ones that are plugged up. And you know what that feels like because you were plugged up for so long. But the moment you unplug and you let that natural rhythm come up, baby, you're going to see a person that you like, oh my goodness, I see what the fuss was about. I see why it was important for me to stay asleep. This power that I have, this strength that I have, this essence, this flavor that I have, it's not like anybody else's. And when you lay eyes on it for the first time, when you feel it for the first time, when you allow yourself to embody it for the first time, your life is never ever the same. There's no way you walking around anymore not knowing who you are, because you have sat right in the middle of it. There's no way that you're walking around like, okay, I have to put up with lack. I have to put up with scarcity. I got to put up with relationships that hurt me. There's no way that you could do that anymore. Because you have laid eyes on your true divine essence. This is the essence that God breathed in. This is the essence that is untainted. You're no longer messed up by that outside frequency. That outside frequency is not interfering with your frequency anymore. And you're not coming forth as a double-minded man anymore. You're coming forth as a person that understands that my frequency is everything and I must guard it at all costs. And when you get that frequency and you feel it and you know what's real and what's not, when you wake up and you connect to this frequency, you're walking around all day as a high vibrational being. Somebody cuts you off in traffic. Boom, let me center myself back to that frequency. They tell you that they no longer need you on the job. Boom, let me connect back to that frequency. Oh, they tell you that you are this and you are that. Somebody leave a bad comment on your post telling you you're going to hell and that you the devil. Boom. Let me connect back to that frequency. Because that frequency is not going to lie to me. And when I'm not in that frequency, I feel it. When I'm not connected to myself, I feel it. Do you understand that this is the cheat code to life? Do you understand that once you get here, nothing can ever bother you again? It might try, but you're able to come back to your center. See, the negative self-talk voice was the dominant voice when you didn't know that this frequency existed. Okay? The conditioning was able to tell you a story and paint a picture for you before you knew that this frequency existed. But see, now you know that this frequency exists. And let me tell you how you know it's your true frequency. Because you feel a love like you've never felt before. You feel at home in your body. You feel connected to everything. You feel that sense of well-being. You feel that warmth in your body from the Most High. So baby, whenever you need to raise your vibration, whenever you need to shift your frequency, this is where you come. And let's just play that out. What does that look like? That looks like when Spirit is waking you up at 2 and 3 in the morning, you get up. You don't go back to sleep. You get up, you sit up, and you put your back up against something, and you take in 3 good breaths. You breathe in, you hold, and you release. You breathe in, you hold, and you release, and you let that release be longer than that inhale. This is centering your body. And you quiet all of this noise out here. Listen, you coming in and you shutting the door. You quieting all this noise out here. And you connecting to that frequency. When you get up, you are in your highest self frequency. And this is what's going to happen. Because you've been in survival mode, right? You've been in that old frequency that mama and them passed down to you without your consent. You just took it. And that has been your dominant frequency. And now, as you do this work, that frequency is no longer on autopilot. That frequency is no longer going unchecked. That frequency is like, okay, you don't belong to me anymore. I know that you are in momentum and you want that repetition to continue, but this is where I interrupt that. This is where I come into my higher knowing. This is where I connect to all there is. And you're going to know it by how you feel. Once you feel it, baby, you cannot unfeel it. Once you really, really feel it, and I'm talking about embodying it, it's such a love. It's such a peace. It's such a clarity. Once you feel it, you're going to be walking around like a hype. Seriously. You're gonna be walking around like, okay, I need that in my life every single day. How can I find that every single day? Because it's the truth. All right? I'm Cassandra K. I love it, and I love it here. Thank you for being here.